I recognize there are Christians who think there is no such thing as a true Christian Christmas.
Yeah.
And probably some of my ancestors in Scotland felt that. But in my own view, that was very much a reaction against a false sanctification and elevation of certain days in the year. And I don't think Christmas is any more holy than any other day of the year. In fact, my family might tell you he sometimes actually works on Christmas. I don't just mean he preaches on Christmas, but sometimes when everybody's had their fill, I'll come into my study and do some work. So it's not a holy day in that sense for me, but it is a blessed thing, I think, to reflect on the incarnation.
Yeah.
And, a striking amount of the New Testament, the Gospels, give a fair amount of attention to it. And I have felt, because, I know people who do not celebrate or recognize Christmas. And I have had a lingering suspicion that if a church doesn't, then it's likely it hears very few sermons on the incarnation. And so, sometimes I have felt pressurized by people who think the powerful Christian position is to ignore it. And I think my response to that has been, tell me how many sermons you've heard during the course of a year on what, by any stretch of the imagination, biblically, is the great inbreaking of God into human history. And my suspicion is probably the answer is not many. And I think that in turn leads to a kind of slight warping of people's appreciation of the great central elements in the gospel.